Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Harrison Talks Pod, episode 24. I hope you are doing well today. We are recording this on a Tuesday morning in sunny Thailand. Well, it's not sunny just yet, and a Monday evening in America. In the middle of lots of basketball, there are about 2 weeks left in the regular season before the play-in tournament. We are about 74 or 75 games in for every team. And last week we talked about the Western Conference play-in teams. And this week, let's talk about the Eastern Conference play-in teams. And I have one question for each one of those teams. But first, unfortunately, we have to talk about the Phoenix Suns. Last week, I talked about the Phoenix Suns when talking about the Western Conference play-in teams, and we talked about how they are one of the most confusing teams in the league, for sure. And the only reason why we talk about them this week is because they haven't won a game since we talked about them last. So they were on a winning streak when we talked about them last, but since then they have lost 3 straight games and all competitive teams, the the Celtics, the Timberwolves, the Rockets, and have had the hardest remaining schedule of any team in the league according to Tankathon. Tankathon. I can never say that word correctly. So have lost 3 straight, 5 of their last 8, 0 consistency overall, and just some very, very bad losses, including the last loss, 148 to 109 against the Houston Rockets, being one of their worst ever in franchise history. Along with that, Kevin Durant played 23 minutes in this last game and turned his ankle, is out for at least a week, they're saying now. Could be the final nail in the coffin. In all seriousness, is this the last game we see Kevin Durant as a Phoenix Sun? I'll kind of touch base on that at the end, but let's keep going ahead. He was really the only consistent player for the Phoenix Suns recently, and in the month of March, he was averaging over 30 points per game on over 50% from the field. The Suns are 4-8 with without Kevin Durant this season. Their defense non-existent, and of course, this has to do with just overall lack of depth, perhaps from the trades in the past, and just overall lack of leadership and lack of consistency. 148 points allowed to the Houston Rockets, 124 points to Timberwolves, 127 to Boston. Houston hit 58% from three. Boston hit 42% from three. Just showing that they are not showing a lot of perimeter security. And in these 3 games, lost by an average of 23 points. So 69 points overall in those 3 games, in the point differential. So, what went wrong in all of this? Frank Vogel has talked recently about his job security after this season, assuming that he would not be returning if the Suns don't make it into at least the play-in, and even if they make the play-in and they don't go very far, which would be my prediction, who knows if Frank Vogel comes back next season, which is, I think, unfortunate, but probably time to move on, though. Bench production has been very bad. Only one bench player averaging in double figures. Bradley Beal has been out. His no trade clause has remained well, one of the best player-friendly deals in the league for sure, being one of the only 2 players in the league with a no trade clause. And 22nd in assists per game for 22nd overall in assists per game as a team. And yeah, just not showing any real type of leadership, no offensive structure, and A team that has this amount of talent should not be 22nd in assists. It's hard to watch sometimes as well. It's sometimes looks very ISO heavy, and sometimes it does not look like they are really running any solid kind of offense. It's very much sometimes, let's see what Kevin Durant can do. Love watch Kevin Durant. One of my favorite players to watch all time, but this has just been very rough. I wonder what the Houston Rockets were thinking after that last game. Of course, they are in second place. They haven't clinched yet. They might clinch the playoffs today. I'm not sure, but there's only one team in the West, being the Thunder, that have clinched so far. And if the Phoenix Suns don't make the play in, then their lottery pick goes to Houston. So I would have loved to hear what they were saying in the locker room last night after that huge win, and the fact that that win can help them get more assets in the long run. It's all very good in Houston this season, but yeah, not in Phoenix. So the Suns shut down Kevin Durant. He's out for a week. He could just be out for the rest of the season. Will Kevin Durant demand a trade in this going into his last year of his contract? Should the Suns just trade Kevin Durant? And here's my answer for it. Yes, yes, they should. They should trade Kevin Durant in the offseason unless there's just a crazy, huge run. They get out of the play-in. They beat the Thunder in the first round. It's not going to happen, I don't think. It's just not going to happen. I don't see the Suns beating any top team in the West right now. Suns are at 218 million next season. If the cap is 160 next year. The tax is, let's say, around 190. They are still about 30 million over the second apron. So, yeah, they're going to be extremely limited as far as what they can do. Have 10 players under contract next season. Only difference really being that their five minimum contract players, of course, are not under contract next year, they will very easily be over 40 million over a second apron next season for a team that will probably not even make the playoffs or the play in this season. I think your only option at this point is to trade Kevin Durant in the offseason. You are not going to be able to trade Bradley Beal for every reason we mentioned, and you are not going to want to trade Devin Booker, your hometown guy, on contract until the 27-28 season. So I think that's just what the Suns have to do. We got negativity out of the way. Let's go over to the East, and we're going to go in order 7, 8, 9, 10. Seventh place being the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm very happy that they are coming off of their one of their best offensive performances and perhaps their best offensive performance of the season. And my question to them is, what should we expect from the Atlanta Hawks after their best offensive performance of the season? So they just won 145-124 against the Bucks. What does it mean moving forward? What should we expect from their key players outside of Trey Young? In this game, the Hawks shot 53% from the field, and their season average is right around 46%. They had 17 made threes on 35% shooting, which is a huge boost in their offense and shows that they can perhaps rely on other key players more than we had expected. Now, Zachary Risachet. Is that right? I went on YouTube last night to make sure I was pronouncing his name correctly. And if you're one of those like pronunciation channels, why do you have a 30-second intro just so I can find out how to pronounce this guy's name? I've heard it on broadcast and I'm still not sure if I'm saying it correctly. Yeah, anyways, Ricochet, 36 points on one dribble, which I did not realize until this morning, until I saw it on Twitter. 5'11 from three, stepped up big time. Should be taking more notice of this rookie, and I think we will after that. Tyson Daniels, who we've talked about on here a few times, the sixth man of the year candidate, defensive player of the year candidate, most improved player. Did I say six man? Anyways, did not mean that, but six man defensive player, all of that. 22 points, six assists, five steals, and Trey Young had 19 assists and shot 25% from the field. So, uh, we'll take that as a positive, I guess. Yeah, the ball wasn't going in for him, so he dished out 19 assists, and they got 145 points. So, if I'm a Hawks fan, I'm thinking, okay, going into this play-in, the offense could possibly be there. And if Trey Young is having a good offensive night, it could really be there. So let's move on with other Hawks players that I struggle to pronounce. Okongwu had double double, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Niang, 17 points and four threes out of their, what did I say, 17? And Mohamed Gay, 9 rebounds, 3 assists on 19 minutes. Had six players in double digits in this game. Hawks grabbed 46 rebounds, out rebounding the Bucks by 10, and that included 15 offensive boards. Rebounding and second chance points were the key part of winning this game, and winning this game by a lot. Dyson Daniels, 5 steals, as I mentioned. Definitely going to be up there for Defensive Player of the Year, leading the league in steals by a lot. 30, let's move on from there. So, can the Hawks just continue this firepower? We'll see. They are 7th in the East at 36 and 38. They have a 2-game lead currently over Orlando, who is playing right now, I believe, and have a 3-game lead over Chicago and Miami, who are 9th and 10th. So, pretty sure this team will be in the play-in. They're not going to be anything further than that, but pretty sure they will be in the play-in, and we'll have a chance to maybe do a just one game to win to get into the playoffs. Now, don't want to ruin the entire segment that I'm doing on the East, but I will say with the Celtics winning 8 in a row, and I think 9 of their last 10, with the Cavaliers, being consistent, they had a small losing streak, but even after losing 4 games, they still have 65 wins on the season. They're gonna be fine. It's hard for me to imagine any team outside of the top 2 beating, winning, I should say. Any other team in the East defeating the Cavaliers or the Celtics. But I think the Hawks do have enough offense where they can make a series interesting if they match up with the 1 or 2 seed in the playoffs. And next up, we have 8th place, which is the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic, I don't have a question for them. Can they keep their momentum going into the play-in? There we go. Okay. It's not gonna be the best question, but It is true, though. They have shown significant improvement the second half of the season. Having a healthy Paul Bencaro has helped that. They have won 7 of their last 11 games and are pushing to a play-in playoff spot. They are in a good spot. Um, in the last couple weeks of the season, they are currently playing the Clippers right now as I speak. They won their last game against the Kings. In that game, Paul Bencaro had 24 points and 6 rebounds. Paul Bencaro is so versatile and such a fun player to watch. Just his size, length, just being able to drive the ball, kick the ball, efforts on defense. It's just all very fun to watch. And of course, having him healthy has given the Orlando Magic a lot more offensive. Another standout has been Caleb Houston. In the Kings game, he shot 85% from the field, 85% from 3-point range. So was that 6 for 7? I guess he was 6 for 7, 18 points. Okay, I should have written that down a little bit better. But yeah, anyways, they shot 46% from 3 in this game. They won 121-91 against the Kings, who, if the Suns are not the most confusing team in the West, it's got to be the Kings. Defensive improvement is a key factor for the Magic's improvement this second half of the season. Over the last 11 games, they have been third in the league in defense, which is a huge dramatic shift. Wendell Carter Jr. has been a key player in their defense, offering great rim protection in this time. Their team mentality seems like everything is just kind of coming together for them at the right time. Jamal Mosley has been huge for that. Will he be coach of the year or a coach of the year candidate? Let's find out. I have no predictions. He was an early prediction for me, but I don't think he's top right now. The balanced approach, offense and defense, is starting to pay off for the Magic, and I said it with the Hawks, I'll say it with the Magic. This is not a team I would really want to face in the playoffs. Not a team I think that can beat the Cavaliers or Celtics in 7 games, but certainly not a team that I think is going to get swept by any team in the league right now. So we'll see. 7-4 over the last 11 games shows significant improvement. So let's see what their playoff picture is. They are 36 and 39. They are the eighth seed, as I mentioned, and it's very competitive between 7 and 10 right now. So I'm very confident they will be in the play-in. 36, 39 right now, 7 games left, but they do have a chance to drop into the ninth or 10 seeds as well. So, very exciting young team to watch. They have an up and coming superstar player, which I believe will eventually, I'll say eventually, getting into his prime, be someone that you can build a championship team around. Next one, I think, is a bit fun. It's the Chicago Bulls. Also a team that I don't talk about that much, but, well, they've been winning recently. Lost their last game to the Mavericks, 120 to 119, but then won 4 games in a row against Western Conference teams before that. Lakers, Nuggets, Lakers, Kings. Twice to the Lakers they won, and I already put out a short after that second Lakers game where Josh Giddey hit the 46-footer, however many feet game winner. My question then would be, can the Bulls' young core lead them into a play-in or playoff run? They are currently ninth place after going 4-1 in their last 5 games. Players like Josh Giddey, Kobe White have been helping carry the offense. Nearly 60% of their offensive production in that 5-game span has been from those two players. Younger players like Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips are developing. Certainly not players that I'm too familiar with, honestly, because in my league pass rankings, the Bulls have not always been the highest. So, just a team that I need to pay attention to more, and I'm going to for sure be watching if they're in the play-in, which I'm going to assume that they are. They are 33 and 41. They are ninth, tied with Miami, and they hold the tiebreaker. Lots of red teams, like the color red, that are in the play-in spot right now. They need to win at least 2 games, at least to stay in the play-in spot, but, if they can move up to 7 or 8, then that's even better. They are currently 2.5 games behind Orlando, but they do own the tiebreaker with Orlando. The strength of schedule, Miami has the easiest of the 4, and then, Atlanta has the 4th easiest in the league, Bulls 7th easiest, and the Magic have the 15th easiest. So, goes in that order. Bulls will be playing teams like Celtics, Pacers, Clippers, so we'll have some playoff teams that they will face at the end of the season, and the Thunder. Thunder as well. So, have to mention them. They are now in the top half in the league for defensive efficiency, but they do lack elite defenders with a young core. They had big wins against the Lakers and the Nuggets. 2 big wins against the Lakers. So, they can show that they have abilities to win against good playoff teams that are healthy, but they lost their last game to the Mavericks, 120 to 119, just showing a lack of consistency. They can win against great teams. They can lose against teams that are struggling. Talked about the Mavericks last week, but they're winning with Anthony Davis. This is a Bulls segment, though. Front office, I think, has the vision for the Bulls. I don't think they're going to veer off in any way. We'll see what the offseason leads them to, but it's great to see that the Bulls are finally embracing a young core. And I say finally because it seems like this is something they should have done for a while. And part of that is the Josh Giddey trade. And I know OKC is thrilled to have Alex Caruso in OKC and that Josh Giddey was not in their future plans after having Jalen Williams and after having success there. But Josh Giddey, with 5 triple doubles on the season, has been solid for the Bulls. I can't believe 5 triple doubles is second in the Bulls franchise history. Also, can't believe that 15 of Michael Jordan's 28 triple doubles came in the 88-89 season. Over half in one season. That's just a very interesting fact, and as an MJ fan, I was surprised I did not know that one. But one of the best offensive seasons in NBA history for sure. Sportsline says they are at a 31% chance to make the playoffs. I'm not sure if that's accurate. I'm not a betting guy. But it would be great if this team can move up to 8th and get more of a chance in the play-in, but it looks like this is going to be a play-in team for sure. Can they win 2 games and then, they face the Cavaliers in the first round? I'm kind of hoping for it. I don't have any real feelings of any of these 4 play-in teams, but seeing the Bulls in the first round could be fun. I don't think they would win, but at least I would hope it would give Bulls fans positivity that their team is competing in the playoffs. And the last one is quite interesting. That is the Miami Heat. Miami Heat are playing right now against the Wizards, and pretty sure they're going to win that game. They have won 4 games in a row before that, and before that win streak had lost 8 games in a row. So, even after an 8-game losing streak, they are 10th and they are tied with the Bulls, but Bulls have the tiebreaker, I believe. So, can the Heat build momentum into the play-in? I know it's not the most exciting question for the segment, but hey, it's what I'm going with to discuss this team. They are peaking late. Post Jimmy Butler, not sure what this team was intending on doing, but in my mind, I like to believe that the Heat are always trying to compete going into the play-in or playoffs, wherever they might be. And I do have a strange feeling. I know playoff Jimmy's not there anymore, but Eric Spoelstra's there. I have a strange feeling that they're gonna make it into the first round somehow. Could be wrong, but uh, they're just always competitive. Even last year, winning a game against Boston without Jimmy Butler. So we'll see how they do. But they are peaking late. They are shooting better. They shot 47% from three in their last game. Their defense looks better. They had 12 steals in their last game. So there's been a lot of key reasons for the recent success. Um, Even after losing Jimmy Butler and losing lots of games in a row, this team might be figuring some things out heading into the play-in, which is just not good for any other team. In the last game, Tyler Hero had 20 points, 7 assists on 5 from 9 from 3. Adebayo, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Khalil Ware, who's been great this year, 13 points, 14 rebounds, including 4 offensive rebounds. Alex Burks, 20 points, 6 from 12 from the field. Is that right? That might not be right. Alex Burks, 20 points. And Haley Larson, is that how you say it? 4 steals, 3 offensive rebounds, and I'll check my pronunciation after the recording's over. Nah, so professional. Lots of depth contributions, whether it's Highsmith, Mitchell, Anderson, Spoelstra has been able to show that he can mix lineups and just piece together lineups and rotations and just say, get on out there and make it work somehow. 47 to 37 rebounding advantage over Philadelphia in the last game. All positives. Spoelstra said that this team has been inconsistent and has raised questions on whether this team can compete in these high stake games, but I'm saying that they can. And for sure, if they are playing any of these play in teams, I think they have a chance to win and win 2 in a row to make it into the first round. And I've repeated myself over and over again. I do not think this team can come close to beating, I'll say Cleveland or Boston, but they play Cleveland the first round. I don't think it's going to be good, but perhaps that gives Miami some sort of positivity going into the offseason. We got rid of Jimmy Butler. We still made the play-in tournament. We still had some consistent games at the end of the season. I don't know. If you're a Miami fan, tell me how you feel. I'm trying to make it better, I guess. They are trending at the right time. Tyler Hero does have a chance to be their X factor, Adebayo, if he takes or continues to take an expanded offensive role, then that can just lead to more Miami success. So, yeah, anytime we have the Heat in the playoffs, anything goes. But I think the top teams in the East is going to be very difficult for these teams. I had fun talking about these Eastern Conference play-in teams and cannot wait to see what happens these last couple of weeks. Can't wait to talk to you when we get to the play-in and playoffs as well. We'll see what we talk about next week in the meantime. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Go enjoy some basketball. I'm going to do the same. And I will see you back next week for some more basketball discussions.